Welcome to another live stream Watchalong reaction. There we go. There we go. That's better. Tonight, we're watching Violette AC versus Defense Force FC 2026 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup Group A. Group stage, Group A. The second match in this tournament, of course, Salcedo right now is holding on for dear life, 2-1 over Portmore United. In Group B, with 3 minutes to go with stoppage time. But let's put this on the other match. Defense Force FC trying to qualify again for Champions Cup through this tournament. Last year they did it third place. This year they'll try to do the same, if not better. Oh. That's just crazy. Hold on. See if it takes on. We're here and ready to go. Okay, there we go. How we doing? How we doing? People from Pleasantville, New Jersey. How we doing, Henry? Teams are about to walk out in the Dominican Republic. They have to play in, damn, Haiti still has to play in the Dominican Republic. A Haitian team still has to, okay. That sucks for them. Either way, 90 minutes of this match. This one's just a live stream. And then, of course, we'll be live for Vancouver Whitecaps FC and Atlante, and we'll review that match as well. So the second live, I'll still review it. Either way, how we doing, Dillon? How we doing? I'm going to go, I think I said draw, if I'm not mistaken. I think I said draw, if I remember correctly. And then Cincinnati wins the shootout because, of course, the pity point exists. How we doing, Lewis? How we doing? Because the pity point exists. Either way, starting 11s have not showed up on CONCACAF's website yet. That's great. Good thing this is just a stream then. Speaking of, maybe I should pull up the Lease Cup. Oh. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. I'm doing well. I know. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. Columbus Outlaws and Cincinnati Pachuca have just started. 5th minute in both those matches. It's 0-0. When were they supposed to kick off? 6:30? Oh, 6:45. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. 2 games kick off, or 1 game kicks off at 7, 1 game kicks off at 7:30, a game at 9, game at 9:30. Pedro Neto could go to Man City. Okay. If Maresca wants him, let him have him. He sucks. Pedro Neto sucks. Let him have him. That's helpful. How we doing, son? How we doing? Look at that. So many viewers. Because they always, when it comes to a Trinidadian team, the viewers always come through. They always come through. I love it. What do you think about Olympia from Honduras? They're playing in Panama tomorrow. I think Olympia is a damn good team. I think they're one of the favorites in this tournament, or the Central American Cup. I think Olympia should easily, well, I wouldn't say easily, but I think they should win their match. I think they should win their match tomorrow. They beat Mixco 2-0 last week. Yep. That was at home, of course. But they still did. Tomorrow, Olympia goes to Umessit. Umessit's a damn or a brand new club comparatively when it comes to CONCACAF. I think Olympia should win that pretty easily. I think they should win that pretty easily. Umesit is probably not ready to face a team as big, a club as big as Olympia. I don't think they are. Yeah, they made the tournament, but I think they may be getting put into the deep end very quickly. I think Olympia should win that. I think y'all should beat Santos Laguna. I think I had y'all winning, yes. Violette wearing white jerseys with blue, well, their blue logo and blue numbering. Defense Force wearing a dark blue jersey. I have no idea. All the ones we don't want to leave are leaving. Tosin's still there. It's like a cockroach. You can't kill it. Wonderfully, no starting 11s on the CONCACAF website for this game. Great. So basically, I'm just going to have to call it like I see it, and then it is what it is. Okay, teams are shaking hands, and we're getting ready to go. Isn't Badia Shield still there? Well, you kind of want him gone, too. Starting 11 for Violette. Eliane, Clerget, Ciceron, Jerry, Charelas, Steven Saba. Oh, he's still there. Fabrice Badrine, Marcier, Dejean, Nider, Cherie, and Norstans. Steven Saba is still there. Well, that's cool. Steven Saba, the former Montreal player, is still there at Violette. Well, good for him. Sergio Rosenhout from Surinam's the center ref. Goal for Pachuca. Jesus Christ, already. 1-0 to Pachuca already. Adrian Alcaraz. Header assisted by Adrisi. Well, there you go. What a bunch of chokers. 7 minutes in. Cincinnati sucks. Cincinnati can't win big games, can they? Garcia, the captain of Defense Force. Do you wish Chalobah stay with Chelsea? Yes. Yes, I wish he did. Why does it still say 0-0 on Fut Mob? What, are you kidding me? Why does it still say 0-0 on Fut Mob? And starting 11 is Williams, Felix, Garcia, Bailey, St. Hilaire, Coryat, Sadu, Bertrand, Holder, and Moore. I guess. Okay. No more Molino. Rion Moore is here. Okay. Rion Moore instead of Molino. I guess Molino just retired. Straight up. St. Hilaire is still there. Rion Moore basically replaces former Pacific FC man. Yep. Rion Moore basically replaces what Kevin Molino was. Yeah, it is 1-0 Pachuca. Fut Mob is choking right now, isn't it? You know what? Maybe I should use SofaScore. Are you happy to see Kevin Owens back? Yeah. Steven Saba is the player to watch for Violette. Rion Moore, the player to watch for Defense Force. That's the way I'll put it, since we'll do it MLS style, whatever. And we're off. Violette's going straight at him. Oh. For a Haitian team, oh, they got balls. Well, then again, this is the same team that beat Austin that one time. Header. Either way. St. Hilaire spins around. All right. Why would they bury Joe Hendry? I don't know why. He was always a meme. But either way. You know what? Screw it. You know what? You're right. I'll start using SofaScore. Font Mob is choking right now. I will start using SofaScore against. It's so broken. SofaScore. Font Mob's so broken. I'm going to start using SofaScore. See, Brock retired? Yes, I did. Ugh. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up both. Huh. Playing forward. Why is Oregon the favorites to win the college championship? I don't know. I thought you were a Tottenham fan. I thought you were a Tottenham fan. There we go. Charlotte and Pumas is delayed. For what reason, I couldn't tell you. Oh, yeah, Costa Rica won on penalties over Haiti U20, by the way. There we go. That's helpful. There we go. That is actually more useful than CONCACAF's website. It is. Okay. So, Pachuca is top of the Liga MX table with 3 points and a 1-0 lead over Pachuca. Columbus and Atlas are playing as we speak. Oh, that's not the Liga MX table. Either way, 3 minutes in. Wow. That sucks for them. I think Defense Force wins 1-0, but Violette's definitely not a team to sleep on. Either way. I don't know why Sun ain't happy. I've just switched to SofaScore. He's the one who's been putting it over. Either way. Is there rain in Charlotte or something? Because it says Charlotte and Pumas is delayed. Second time in 2 weeks. Why is everybody mad at Mexico for agreeing with the FIFA president deal? Because that's not what they should be doing. Okay, it looks like there is rain over Charlotte, though. I don't know what's going to happen with Mexico playing over the top. But I legitimately think playing forward, shot wide by Violette. I don't know what's going to happen with Mexico. I don't know. Don't know. So it's 0-0 between Columbus and Atlas, and Pachuca leads Cincinnati. Plaza Amador 0-0 versus LA Firpo. USA Guatemala has not started yet. Salcedo beats Portmore 2-1. That's a goal kick. What does Mexico get from that deal? Well, I mean, if it doesn't go through, nothing. They just get embarrassed for going with Infantino or looking at the deal. The only way they get the $40 million that deal would give them is if the deal goes through, which it's not because it got pulled. So, 6 minutes in. The FIFA Forward deal and the selling off FIFA Forward to private equity is not happening. So they got nothing except embarrassed because they tried to stab CONCACAF in the back. Pretty much. Violette playing forward. Shot, or at least considering it, they get embarrassed. They could have left it. And honestly, when it comes down to it, stop watching because they were playing bad. My full fandom's on NYCFC. Well, it's wrong for you to want, but since you want a team at that similar level that isn't Tottenham, I think they're actually going to be playing pretty well this year. I actually believe Tottenham's going to be back to what we expect them to be this year. I really do. So I don't think you need a new team, but if you want a new team because you don't trust them, Aston Villa, since they're similar size and similar meaning. But either way, Tottenham's going to be better this year. I think they will be a top 6 club this year. With the moves they've made and how good De Zerbi is as a coach and the fact that they all bought in, they're not going to be anywhere near relegation. Which I hate that. I wish they did get relegated. But thank you, Everton. You really laid an egg. Eight minutes in. 0-0. Galazzo, Cincinnati. 1-1 between Cincinnati and Pachuca. Evander, of course. It was Evander. Evander scores the goal. Oh. It has a goal viewer. Oh, shit. Some score has a goal viewer. That's good. I like that. Nice. When did Benjamin Mora become the coach of Pachuca? Former York United coach. Defense force getting mogged. Told you. Yeah, Violette definitely looks like the better team. Yep, the locals suck. The same thing as we said last year. The locals suck. And Rion Moore ain't Kevin Molino. And here's the other part that sucks. Here's the other part that sucks. Here's the other part that sucks. He's not a number 10. Molino was a number 10. He could connect the play. Rion Moore's a striker, and he's not a bad striker. Don't get me wrong. He's still not Kevin Molino, but I mean, Rion Moore's not a bad player. But he needs the service to play into him. And I guess having a former MLS player who's getting closer to washed is better than having a former CPL player that's getting close to washed. I guess MLS, okay, I guess it was never a guess, but MLS was always a higher quality league over the CPL. I mean, I love the CPL, but, well, I mean, the CPL is a better league than the Trinidadian League, yeah. That's not disrespect, that's just fact. Again, the CPL is a better league than most in Central America and the Caribbean in general, in my opinion. CPL definitely, it'll end up being a top 3 league in CONCACAF. Top division, of course. I mean, if not, the problem with that on the men's side is if you're not saying top division, the USL, nice. Sadly, the Blue Jays sucked this year, but who knows? Maybe they'll be on a little bit of a run for you. Unless they're playing the Yankees, then I guess either way. They've already played the Mets, so that won't happen. Either way. I don't know why you'd be scared of Toronto. Saved. Yeah, they almost got cooked there. I don't think you should be nervous. I mean, yeah, it's it. Maybe excited. Scared? No. Nervous? Okay, I can kind of understand that, but a little bit, maybe more nervous excitement. I don't understand why you'd be scared. But either way. Shot, goal! Violette scores! It's 1-0 to Violette AC. And honestly, that was coming. Cherie scores the goal. Miche Nider Cherie scores the goal for Violette. And frankly, it was coming. Miche Nider Cherie makes it 1-0 to Violette. And frankly, I think that was coming. Works it through. He slides it in. Yeah, that was coming. Former Switchbacks player. I knew the name was familiar from somewhere. Or Oakland Roots, I should say. Former Oakland Roots player. USL Championship. There we go. I knew the name was familiar from somewhere. And actually, I think he was playing for Violette when they played Austin as well. There you go. I think that's also why. Doesn't Violette have a World Cup player? Yes. I think he was still there when they beat Austin as well. I think that's why he got the move to the USL. Then he moved to USL, and then he moved to a random whatever club, and then now he's back at Violette. 13th minute for Cherie. 1-0. And frankly, yeah, that was coming. The way this game has been going, that was coming. But yes, they have a World Cup player. They had a player on the World Cup roster that's not on the bench right now, which is weird. But either way, to be honest, I'm happy Portland are on track without Phil. They're better than they were with him, to be honest. 1-0. Yeah, Violette is the better team. I think Sun's accepted that Defense Force is not good enough. That they're definitely not the same as they were. Hey, at least Sun got to see Defense Force in the Champions Cup. Also got destroyed by a shitty Philadelphia team, but a very shitty Philadelphia team. But he still got to see them play a Champions Cup tie. Not every club could do that, can they? But being in the Champions Cup's not for everybody. Seeing your club in the Champions Cup's not for everybody. 5-0 loss to Philly and a 7-0 loss or whatever. Not all of our clubs. Well, I mean, I've seen my club in the Champs Cup, but I haven't seen them in the Champs Cup for 5 years. It's been 5 years since Toronto's played a Champs Cup match. Hell, it was the Champs League back then. We have never played. Actually, technically, if you really want to split hairs, we've never played a Champions Cup match in the old era or the current era, because we were not around when it was called the Champs Cup the first time. Wait. Well, that was our debut season, our inaugural season. It was still the Champions Cup, but of course we couldn't qualify because it was our inaugural season. So we had no opportunity anyway. And then it became the Champions League in our second season and stayed the Champions League till 2023. All of our appearances in the CONCACAF tournament has come under the Champions League banner. We have not made it since it's been rebranded to the Champs Cup. And we've had more tickets possible, not just the Can Champ. We could have gone through an MLS, Leagues Cup, Can Champ, and we have not made it in any way. There are more teams. What a disaster. Even the shitty Toronto teams from back in the day still found a way to make the Champs Cup. Or Champions League. Now, you could say that, well, y'all still won 3 straight Voyagers Cups back then. And everybody was shit. And Vancouver wasn't even, well, one of those years they weren't even in the league yet, MLS. True. But, either way. Now, Vancouver is the best Canadian team. That is true. We need to close the gap. Do. 19th minute. Still 1-0. Violette being the better team, and Defense Force is running like chickens with their heads cut off. It is 1-1. Cincinnati Pachuca still tied for Atlas Columbus. Charlotte Pumas is still delayed. We'll see if they get that play today. I would hope so. St. Hilaire going for it, and he cuts in and switches the play. Well, I did say Defense Force and Violette would draw, didn't I? Clyde. Oh, no, that was Delphines and Violette. Yeah, no, I think Defense Force is cooked. I think they might be cooked. How bad is Seattle? They've been very bad recently. They've been very bad recently. Toluca should whip their ass. Seattle is falling apart. Like, they are a rotting corpse. Bad. Like, them being cheap recently is now starting to bear fruit. Their best players are aging out. Basically, even worse than Tigres. You think Tigres is bad? You think they're in chaos? Seattle tried to milk their core for all it was worth. And they've been very cheap over the past 10 years. They've tried to milk their core for all it was worth. Seattle's starting to get pretty damn old. The milk is running dry. Point is recently Seattle has absolutely went nuclear meltdown. Chernobyl levels of disaster, so to speak. A Chernobyl level nuclear meltdown in Seattle. So, Toluca should beat the hell out of Seattle tomorrow. Yes. Because they're cheap. Muller Masterclass coming later? Probably yes. Probably. German discipline, of course. Because Seattle, it turns out their celebrity ownership group is very cheap. The owner that was actually, ambitious left and sold his shares. And now they have Russell Wilson as a celebrity owner. They've always had Drew Carey. They have Marshawn Lynch. All these celebrity owners. Macklemore. None against Macklemore. I like his songs. None against Macklemore. I like some of the Macklemore songs. What the fuck does he know about football? Anybody who's a diehard Kanye fan will get that reference. Or what I was trying to reference there. Macklemore is one of the owners of Seattle Sounders FC. Now, I like some of the Macklemore songs, but what the fuck does he know about football? How does Atlante shape up? Well, it's a Miguel Herrera team. So, very defensive or very chippy. Is Seattle top 3 MLS clubs you hate? Yes. Yes. Oh, Columbus just took the lead, 1-0. There you go. Atlante, they shape up in a 5-3-2. 5-3-2. Very chippy, though. A very chippy, physical 5-3-2. But it's a Miguel Herrera team, so you can't be surprised. 1-0 for Violette. Montreal, number 1. Seattle, number 2. And number 3. Ugh. You want me to be real? It's not Vancouver. It's not Vancouver. So they won't make it easy. Nope. But that's Miguel Herrera football to a T. I mean, that's why they're probably playing so well right now. I mean, they've gotten off to a flying start in Liga MX. At least winning games wise. Because they don't make it easy. They find their chances and put them away. Now, is Vancouver probably the highest or the hardest opponent they faced? I would say so, but it's definitely going to be interesting. It's not going to be a blowout either way, I don't think. But that Vancouver game is going to be interesting. I'm glad we're doing it. So, should be interesting. But it is being played in Vancouver, so that definitely helps the Whitecaps. On that turf as well. I guess you picked this matchup for a reason. I mean, the Leagues Cup's starting today, and it was at after 9 o'clock because I was doing this match. So, it was either that or I thought it looked the best of the 21 of Tigres Salt Lake and Vancouver Atlante. I thought Vancouver Atlante looked like a better match than Tigres versus Salt Lake. I mean, we just saw the Huron ball Salt Lake played a couple of days ago. I mean, it was probably always going to be Vancouver Atlante, but after that St. Louis game, I'm like, yeah, no. No. Give me Vancouver Atlante. I mean, I had to pick one of the later ones. And I really wanted to do a Leagues Cup match on Leagues Cup Day 1. And it's the first time we've covered an Atlante match on this channel because, of course, they just returned to Liga MX. They just bought back in. So, yeah, why not? Give them a welcome. Give them a warm welcome, I guess. Hilaire, Saint Hilaire, spins around in their first ever Leagues Cup against a big team. Let's give them a warm welcome, I guess. I think that makes sense. Columbus have taken a lead. Yes, 1-0 over Atlas. Charlotte Pumas is still delayed. We'll see if that gets started. And it is Ruvalcaba of Columbus scoring the goal. The center back. Well, that's workable. Either way. Oh, yeah, Pachuca and Cincinnati tied. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. 27th minute. So, Violette basically letting Defense Force go for it. I don't know if that's what you should do. Defense Force has gained a little bit of possession since the goal against. At least I could see Berhalter playing in the championship. Berhalter, Arston, and Aiden Morse. Three Columbus players, former Columbus players. Because Sebastian Berhalter played in 2020 with Columbus with Aiden Morris, and then Arston playing with Columbus. Hope he does well. I hope they all do well there. I really do. I mean, I wish them the best. I like them as players. I think they're solid. I mean, I always want an MLS player to do well in Europe. Hell, even a Liga MX player. Even if it's not good for Canada for that to be the case. But, you know. Speaking of USA and Canada, playing forward. And Cincinnati just took the lead against Pachuca. Might as well have. Let's check it. 2-1. It is 2-1 to Cincinnati. They just scored again. Playing forward. And it is Pavel Bucha giving Cincinnati the lead. The end of the Shield or on WWE? Well, I mean, it's been over for ages. Yeah, we just talked about it. Pavel Bucha scores for Cincinnati with 5 minutes to go in the half. So both Columbus and Cincinnati lead. Atlas and Pachuca are losing. Pumas and Charlotte is still a delayed match. Over the top. Defense Force has it. There might be a chance here. Rion Moore plays it on it right to a Violette player. That is, oh my God. 30 minutes in the first half. And it's 1-0. Cherie scores for Violette. Rain delay in Charlotte. playing forward. Gates are about to reopen for the Charlotte game. 8:22 kickoff Central for Charlotte and Pumas. All right, so they will get going. Player down hurt for Violette, and they're going to get stretchered off. Still 1-0. There you go. All right. Player being pulled off, 32nd minute. Third minute. St. Hilaire cuts in, plays it through, top of the box, still, shot, blocked, over the bar in a corner. I don't know about, it's on Paramount Plus though. This game's on Paramount Plus though, so. Either way. Anis Jerry-off for Duckins Pierre is the sub. And a corner for Defense Force. Header, and it's not even headed. It's just a wide. That was a horrible in swinger. Well, in the USA, it's on Paramount Plus, so. I guess they actually geo-locked it. I guess they finally, because last week's games were not geo-locked. Those were in Spanish, though. I guess the Caribbean Cup games are not. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's exactly how it worked last year when they were all on Tubi. I could pick what the hell I want. I am doing that later. I'm doing both tournaments tonight that are beginning. I've done a game of each. Besides, Sun would be up. He'd be pissed off I didn't do the Defense Force game. So you might not be happy that I'm not doing Leagues Cup this hour. He would be unconsolable. So his anger would be higher than yours if I went the other way. So. And besides, Trinidad games or Trinidadian club games always come through on this channel. So, besides, I can't be taking no flops anymore after the whole World Cup was a damn flop. So, you know what? It was a numbers decision, and it was a Sun's going to be less pissed, or you're less pissed than him with me going this way than me going the Leagues Cup way. You can be inconsolable. So. And you know that damn well. He would take it as a personal affront if I didn't do the League or the Defense Force game. I chose a Leagues Cup game over Defense Force. He would take it as a personal affront. And you know this. I don't think you take the Leagues Cup as a personal affront, or me not doing the Leagues Cup until the Vancouver game is a personal affront. Even though he's admitted Defense Force is way worse than they were 12 months ago. Columbus 2-0. Columbus makes it 2-0 over Atlas. It is Sean Zawadski with a goal in stoppage time. At least we're keeping an eye on it. Well, here's the problem with that. It's doing its job. It's only been around for 3 years. Well, actually, this is the fourth. 23, 24, 25, 26. It's been around for 4 years. It's doing its job. If you've noticed, the Caribbean clubs that play in this tournament have gotten more professional, and they've gotten better quality-wise ever since this tournament itself started. It's just the facts. I think CONCACAF taking the CFU Club Championship and turning it into the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, taking the Caribbean teams out of the CONCACAF League and making a Caribbean tournament, I think that's done very well for the club teams of the Caribbean to get them more professional and more big games. And it makes them better. Just like the Nations League does for the national teams. You could call CONCACAF a corrupt federation. You could say it's had its problems. You could say it's had its bad history, its dark moments. But Victor Montagliani's done an amazing job of trying to professionalize the whole confederation and give meaningful games to smaller clubs and nations through the Nations League and the Caribbean Cup and the CONCACAF League into the Central American Cup. League's Cup is a money grab. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. That is a money grab, and Apple TV asked for that shit. I'm not even going to lie about that. But, that did help them make these two tournaments and expand the Champions Cup in a way that didn't need to have a group stage, which is great. But either way, I think it does need improvement, but it's improving as we go. Go watch a Robin Hood game from 2023. That is definitely on CONCACAF's YouTube channel. They do definitely un-geo-block it once the game's over and have it as an archive. They've done that, and I know that for sure. Go watch a Robin Hood game from 2023, or any Caribbean Cup game from 2023, compared to what we have now. Tell me it isn't improving. So, tell me it isn't improving. Ron's right. Caribbean teams get 3 Champs Cup places. Back in the CFU and Champions League days, we used to get 1. Well, y'all could have also gained more through the CONCACAF League days, but y'all didn't make it far enough to gain those places normally. Normally, when Waterhouse played the CONCACAF League, they only got knocked out maybe in the round of 16. And they certainly weren't one of the 2 best losing quarterfinalists. And they didn't have play-ins, except for the COVID year. I don't think play-ins in the quarterfinals became a thing, and he lost the ball. Shot! Saved. Rion Moore is trying to do it himself. Either way. But from 2017 to 2023, or 2022, y'all could have earned more places in the Champions League through the CONCACAF League. But y'all were playing Central American teams, and it was very hard for a Waterhouse or the other Caribbean teams playing in the CONCACAF League to get to being a semifinalist or one of the top 2 losing quarterfinalists. That was always tough. And I know Waterhouse got beat by Pacific. I remember that back in 2022 in the final CONCACAF League. So again, you do have 3 confirmed places because the club championship winner back in the day, the CFU Champions League, CONCACAF League days, the CFU club championship winner got an automatic berth to the Champions League. Then the runner-up 3rd place and a Shield winner / the 4th place playoff winner all went into the CONCACAF League. And if they made it far enough, they made the Champions Cup. But that never happened. So, just bring back group stage. Riyadh almost scored. Stuttgart is becoming your Bundesliga club, isn't it? Honestly, I was always more of a Dortmund guy. I mean, I did love Leverkusen when Xabi Alonso was there, but I mean, if I had to say who my Bundesliga club would be, it would be Dortmund. I think I've always been. Of course, I do want Davies to do well at Bayern. I do. But of course, again, that's like the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Do I like the Dallas? I hate the Dallas Cowboys as a franchise. Once Dak leaves, I'm going to hate the Cowboys again. Once Davies leaves Bayern, I will hate Bayern with a fury of 1,000 suns. But I can't do that right now. Ball crossed in. But if Motagua plays and you need to wear the Cowboys jersey for that because their colors match, yeah, but it's still a Dak Prescott jersey. That's exactly what that shows. So do with that what you will. I mean, through the league, no. Does a championship team qualify to the UEFA Champions League or Europa League? No, unless they won the FA Cup the season prior. Unless they won the Champions League a season prior. Unless they've already qualified through a UEFA or a cup, they don't qualify. And that's the way it should be. Like, if Louisville City wants to be in the Champions Cup, win the Open Cup. And it's not like they can't do it. They're a good team. But to qualify through a second division league, there should be no... I mean, it's not even a thing in Europe unless you've won the FA Cup, which guess what the Open Cup is? Or guess what the CPL does have slots, but that is technically still a first division league in Canada. The USL is a second division league. The only thing the CPL is a second division league is in size of clubs only. It is considered a first division league. There's your difference. The CPL is Canada's first division league, while the MLS has the 3 teams in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver as first division teams as well. So there's a group of teams that is in the first division league for the United States that are also Canadian. And then there's the Canadian First Division League being the Canadian Premier League. The USL is not a first division league. Now, you could say, well, what about the USL Premier when that becomes a thing? That'll technically be a first division league. Yes, then we can discuss that. But it's going to be like the CPL. Their MLS and USL Premier are both first division leagues, but you obviously know which one's the better league. Even if you love a team in that league. Like I love Louisville City. They're probably going to be in the USL Premier when it starts. It's not a better league than MLS. I think Louisville's a very good club. I think they can, I hope, will the USL Premier probably get a slot in the Champions Cup once it becomes a first division league in the United States? Yes, it probably will. Shot off the post by Defense Force. But when that day comes is when that day comes, so be it what it is. So be it what it is. But either way, how we doing, son? Promise gets signed there. Well, it's also kind of like Bayern. I mean, I don't hate Stuttgart anyway, but I want to see Promise succeed. Maybe I'll buy a Promise David Stuttgart jersey. Sure. But will they become my favorite team? I mean, did Bayern? I wouldn't say they did. I'd say I have a respect. I want Davies to do well, which means I kind of want Bayern to do well. Because either way, 2 minutes of stoppage time. I guess if Davies is doing well, Bayern has to be doing well. But, it is 1-0 to Plaza Amador in the Central American Cup in the 45th minute as well. Offside, 1-0. Still a Dortmund fan. It's not competitive enough. I can't, as I said, CONCACAF is not competitive enough for a group stage. The big teams will go through. Like, you could say, well, what about the Central? What about the Champions Cup? That's unfair. Look at what happens in the prelim round. the small teams go down pretty much all the time. Yes, that is true. But I would rather play a two-legged tie and maybe hope the MLS or Mexican team catches a bad day or catches two bad days and we advance over two legs than the chance is even less likely that a small Caribbean or Central American club or a CPL club would advance to the knockout stage of the Champions Cup with a group stage. It's unlikely. It's very less likely. Like, it's very less likely. And you could say, well, you're still playing 2 games per club. You're still playing home and away 2 games per club. Okay. You're telling me that at least to get out of the group stage, you got to beat the other crappy team in your group. You have to hope that the MLS or Mexican team has a bad day. And then 2 bad days, maybe 1 per club or hopefully 1 per single club. And then you get through top 2, maybe. But you can't screw up the easy game, either easy game. So, I think the knockout stage. And it's halftime, 1-0 for Violette. Defense Force has been pushing, and they've honestly looked really close to scoring a goal in the past 20 or so minutes. But Violette still holds on. Violette trying to park the bus. Is that the right decision? I say no. But you know how I feel about that. We'll take a short break at the half, top of the stats, get this one going. Sit tight, be back 1-0 to Violette. And we will watch the second half, and then we will move to the Vancouver game. Sit tight, be back 1-0. We're back. I mean, more money. Put more money into the football. The sad thing is the games y'all get in Central American Cup, y'all get blown out every single time. So what's the use of playing those games? And the games you do play as a national team, I mean, you do well until against smaller nations until you get blown out, like you did in the Gold Cup prelims 2 years ago. I mean, you're playing your games, y'all, better training methods, better money, better pitches. I mean, y'all are getting the games. With that being said, stats of the half. Let's do this. For Violette versus Defense Force. Crew putting the hurt on Rot Loss. They are 50% possession and 50% possession. 0 corners to 2, 8 fouls to 5. We got 3 shots on goal to 4. We have 0 offside to 1. That's all the stats we have. 1-0 at the half for Violette versus Defense Force. Violette started the better team. Defense Force have had their chances to put the ball forward since they have Minnesota. Juarez has beaten Minnesota 1-0. 27th minute. Guilherme from Juarez has scored over Minnesota. Columbus 3-0. Second half about to start for the Violette game. Violette started the better team. Defense Force has had their chances since the first goal around the last 20 minutes of the first half. Bryce Mendez scores for Columbus. Force of Trinidad. Let's go, Force of Trinidad. That's an awesome jersey. Hopefully I can find that as a... That's awesome. Not the first time I've been compared to Bobby the Brain Heenan. Weirdly enough. Not the first time. Either way. The Charlotte game starts at 8:22. Then we got Tigres Salt Lake and Vancouver Atlante. We'll be live for the Vancouver Atlante match. 45 more minutes of this match, and then we will move on to the Vancouver stream. And then we'll review the Vancouver game. And then tomorrow we got Canada U20 match. The Canada U20 match is what we're doing tomorrow. Vancouver's playing on Friday, so Canada plays a play. Either way. And the second half, here we go. Hit that like button. Let's get this one going. And the second half begins. In the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, will Violette keep parking the bus and give Defense Force a chance to push forward and tie the game at the very least? Here comes Violette. Good start. Saved. Saved by Williams in goal. Ball crossed in. That's going to go out. Over the top. That'll be a goal kick. 30 seconds into the first or the second half. Going down. Defense Force bringing it forward. Rion Moore trying to do it all himself. Has it paid off? I wouldn't say it exactly has, but either way. Do you think we should be considering becoming a Caribbean country? I think politically, Belize is part of the Caribbean Union, and we have relationships with the U.S., England, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Guyana. Here's the thing. I actually think if Belize went to the Caribbean Football Union, I think they'd be better off. I think their football would grow more if they were in the Caribbean Cup. Because I do think Verdez, the fact normally it's Verdez that qualifies for the Central American Cup, they're a solid club at the Belizean level to be winning the Belizean Premier League like that. So if they can regularly do that, if they were playing in the Caribbean Cup, I think, and then you may see teams like Port Loyola make it to the Caribbean Cup through the Club Shield, because Port Loyola made a one Caribbean Cup or Central American Cup since it's become that. But the fact that Verdez is so consistent makes me think that if they played at a lower rung, a lower level, they would grow along with the Caribbean football. Now, for the nation, for Belize as a nation, that really wouldn't do that much. I think being part of the Bertrand off or Oliveira on for Bertrand, yeah. Wrong way. Either way, 48th minute. I don't think it really helps at the national level because that's not how the Nations League is drawn. Maybe, I think it's more of a club thing. You would see Verdez have the chance to get Champions Cup money because they're a very consistent club, which means compared to some other clubs in the Caribbean Cup, they'd probably be more of a favorite. I think it helps club-wise. It helps the Belizean League. Would it help the federation or the national team? Maybe not as much, but I think club-wise, that would be what would have the most to gain of playing the Caribbean Cup and being part of the CFU instead of the Central American Football Confederation, sub-confederation. And I mean, the Caribbean Federation has wild comparisons because, I mean, look at the fact that Suriname and Curacao are in the Caribbean, right? Look at them being part of the Caribbean Cup, and they're in South America. They shouldn't even be in CONCACAF, but they are. So, but they're geographically in South America. So would it be weird if Belize, while sitting with the Central American countries, played in the Caribbean Cup? Yeah. It would be a little bit weird, but it's not the first weirdness that the Caribbean Federation had. Timbers are going to have some players out Thursday. No Panamis, just short term. Already knew about Aravena. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. No Forey, red card from last season. Guerra's back and Omier is back. Well, at least you get some players back while having some out. So, either way. Yeah, the game's a little bit boring. I don't disagree. But either way, at least this one's just the stream. So, we'll see if the Vancouver game's better when that gets going. When it's humid. Oh. Either way. I'm not... '50th minute. It starts now. Second half, yes. That comment is, it starts now. Translates to it starts now. Okay. Yes. Well, second half has started. It's been started for 5 minutes. I do not know any Haitian Creole. Y'all, well, at least we agree on something. Yeah, I think you'd be better off in the Caribbean in that subdivision, but at least clubs-wise. National team-wise, I don't think it makes much of a difference unless the club's going deeper and making Champions Cup because they're in the Caribbean subdivision. Helps the Federation and national team as a group. 1-1 to Minnesota. Oh, well, there you go. That's good for them. Defense for is Vamos, says Lilian. Defense for is Vamos. Chankalai for Minnesota. Okay. Player down hurt for Violette, 52 minutes. Keep an eye on the Leagues Cup games as well. Charlotte and Puma should start in about 7 minutes. 1-1 to Minnesota. Chankalai. Thomas Chankalai, the former Revolution man, scores and ties it. Of course, remember the penalty. Of course, the pity point counts. Of course, after the Leagues Cup, or in the Leagues Cup, if you're tied after 90, there is a shootout. So the pity point counts. So Minnesota is in the realm of getting the pity point. There's a VAR check in the Cincinnati game for something. Evander is top of the player of the match race for Cincinnati. Pato agora. Is it draw now? Minnesota draw now. Yes. See. Minnesota partido empate. Sí. Either way. The Cincinnati game is a VAR check. For what? Not sure. Player down hurt for Violette. 1-0. 1-0. Oh. I can see why you said it starts now. Thank you. Damn it. It's not an automatic. I have to edit it. Ford's Violette. Well, this isn't Sabao Stadium. No, there's the tree. The tree's behind some of the stands. No, this is Sabao Stadium. Wait, no. Oh, wait, no, it's the other stadium. No, this is Santiago de los Caballeros. No, this is Santiago de los Caballeros. Wait. Stadio Sabao is a different stadium. There are two different stadiums. Stadio de los Caballeros. Sabao Stadium is orange. No, Sabao Stadium doesn't have the tree. No, they don't have a tree there. This is the one with a tree. This is the one with a tree. This is Santiago de los Caballeros. Stadio. Were they actually right to get rid of Tani? Well, I mean, it's good for him. Wait, is it either way? Ball crossed in and wide. Juarez 2-1. No, I think this is the same stadium, actually. No, this. Huh. Fifth minute. I think Belize dual nationals poll's pretty decent. Well, can you get them though? Dominican Republic, it got some solid grounds. It definitely, Sabao Stadium is orange. This definitely looks different. This stadium looks different. It's definitely got a tree on the outside though. Just not bought in on him like I may have been a year ago. Fair enough. I mean, Promise looks better. Like, I think Promise has jumped tiny on the depth chart, or at least he should be. Aruba, I think. I think Belize can make a Gold Cup. Who's in their group? Aruba, I think. Belize has... Shouldn't be far away. Here we go. Belize has French Guiana, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Saint Martin. League B. Nations League is the way to qualify through CONCACAF or the CONCACAF League. So if you finish into the top 4, if you finish into the finals of your league, of the Nations League, you're in the Gold Cup. The teams who don't make that will have to play prelims or some format of that in March. So in some way, shape, or form. So if Belize wins their group, which is possible, actually, they'll be in the Gold Cup. Outlaw scored 3-1. It's an own goal. Well, there you go. 1-0, 58th minute. So if they win that group, yeah, they'll, as far as I'm concerned, as far as if we look at the old format or the most recent format of the Gold Cup, Belize can win Group D. Anybody can, really, but I think Belize can win that group. If they win that group, yeah, they'll be in the Gold Cup and the Nations League League B finals in March. So, yeah. I mean, the fact the Gold Cup is next summer, I would assume that the Nations League still qualifies for a Gold Cup. I would assume that's still a thing. We should play in St. Louis. Well, that's not going to happen. Unless they play your, in the Gold Cup, maybe, depending if they get St. Louis a game. Get the dual nationals, Belize. Well, that's only going to happen if they make the Gold Cup. I don't even know if the League B finals are enough to get the dual nationals in. I mean, this is the first time there is a League B final and a League C final. A mini tournament, similar to the Nations League finals in League A. But I don't exactly expect, here's the problem with that. I don't think the dual nationals would want to play a Final Four in League B. Your thoughts on USA versus Canada in a friendly this fall? Hopefully Canada wins. I don't know what to say, really. I hope Davies is healthier so he can make more of an impact in that game. I hope that Promise David starts. I hope Jonathan has more confidence. And we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens, but that's my thoughts. I really can't say. I think Canada did better in the end at the World Cup than the USA did, to be honest. At least at the end of it. Like, people would see Canada as the better team coming out of it after the way it ended for both. But now, of course, I think he will. I think the team we're going to put out is the A team. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Because they will know if they've made the Gold Cup, at least if things are the same. If they win their group, they'll know they're in the Gold Cup. So maybe then they could be like, hey, I know you really don't care, random dual national, about this League B final, but we need you to commit for the Gold Cup. But it would be very nice if we could get you to play this League B final so we could get used to having you in camp. And you could get used to the players that we have that still have to play that aren't dual nationals. And maybe we'd see them at that tournament now, or that portion of the tournament. Now, Goddard coming on for Defense Force. Now, here's the problem. If they go to the Gold Cup prelims because they don't win Group D in League B, they ain't getting those dual nats. The only way those dual nats play in March of 2027 for Belize maybe is if they are in the Gold Cup, which means they are playing the Nations League B finals. And then good tackle for Defense Force there. Then maybe they get those dual nationals to play in March as well as June and July at the Gold Cup. And use that little, the fact there will be a third place game in that little semifinal final thing, just like the normal finals. They will play 2 games no matter what in March. The question is, it'll either be 2 legs in the Gold Cup prelims or the semifinal / third place and final of the Nations League B finals. It'll be either or. If they could somehow make the Gold Cup and win their group, I think that's what matters more to them than the League B finals. If they make the Gold Cup, they could dangle that in front of the dual nats, try to get them through the door and say, hey, while you're doing that, can we get you to play in March when we're in the Nations League finals of League B so we can all work together and get used to each other, not just have to first game in June, boom. We're throwing you into the deep end. Can we get used to this? And then we'll see what happens there. But I still don't think they'll completely care about that. Well, good for him. Playing over the top, caught by the goalie. U.S. was looking most dangerous in the group stage. But then what happened after that? Struggled against Bosnia, played like shit against Belgium, an angry Belgium. That's why I say now. That's why I say after everything has happened in that tournament, Canada looks like the best team out of CONCACAF. Maybe second, but they look better in the U.S. Canada in the group stage wasn't as dominant as the U.S., but Canada didn't lose as embarrassingly as the U.S. did. Mexico might still be better than Canada, but, so be it. 3-1 Cincinnati. Maybe he could help recruit dual nats. I mean, I would hope so. Maybe he'll understand their mentality, so to speak. Because he's American and Belizean, I think. It was a struggle game. Bosnia made that game a struggle. No. That game was a struggle, just like the Canada v. Bosnia game. Both games were a struggle for both CONCACAF teams. That was a tough game. Either way. Player down here for Violette. Good luck to Belize. They've played in the Gold Cup. I know Puerto Rico hasn't. Not off the top of my head. I'm actually going to be honest. It's been if Belize has played in a Gold Cup, it's been a damn long time, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. 65th minute. I'm going to be real. Well, I mean, we did create a lot of chances against South Africa, and South Africa didn't even look close to scoring. We just can't finish. If Jonathan David gets his confidence back, we start Promise David, and Davies is healthy, I think things are different. And besides, I don't know who the hell. 2010? You mean 2011? There was no Gold Cup in 2010. 2009 or whatever. Again, long time. playing forward. One 0 67th minute, 2011. Blue Jays tie the game. Wild pitch, 2-2. Miles Straw scored. Nathan Lucas ground out to Jeremy Pena. Well, at least the Jays are tied, top 5. Stand was the RFK Stadium. Yep, Washington. Charlotte game just got underway. Yep, we knew that was going to be the case. 2011 Gold Cup. Google says 2013. So it's been over 20. It's been over 10 years. It's been 13 years. Definitely not what I was. I mean, I was paying attention, not like I am now. So. Also, Forrest Frank signed out the Texas Stadium. Good for him. That's my thoughts. Good for him. Feeling USA will take everything next year, Gold Cup and Nations League, because it's a must for Pochettino, because it'll be embarrassing for him without winning anything with the USA. Yeah, it'll be embarrassing if they don't win anything. Let's see how Canada comes through. Let's see what happens. If they have Marcelo Flores, I think they have a better chance than if they don't. If Marcelo Flores is healthy for one of the tournaments and he plays at one of the tournaments, I think they have a better chance than you would think. And it depends if Canada brings their best 11 to the Gold Cup as well. If they bring their best 11 to the Gold Cup, they have a chance. Also depends if the rest of CONCACAF brings their best team to the Gold Cup as well. And Vladdy grounded out. Tie game. Player down hurt. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, Mexico does look the best in CONCACAF right now. They do. I'll even admit that. Cherie gets a yellow card. I'll even admit that. I'll even admit that the best team in CONCACAF nations-wise looks like Mexico right now. I'll even admit it. I'll even admit that. So Pumas Charlotte has started with a draw. Minnesota Juarez is taking the lead over Minnesota. Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, I disagree, but well, good for him. 70th minute. Still 1-0 for Plaza Amador over LA Firpo. Antigua Real Esteli, Diriahen, Alajuelense on at the same time. USA Guatemala started 33 minutes, 0-0 between the USA and the Guatemalan U20s. Over the top. Still 0-0. Let's see. Did it play 120 minutes? They did play 120 minutes. Okay. So there's extra time, then penalties in the U20 championship. Ball crossed in. Defense force. Top of the box. St. Hilaire saved. Rebound and covered by the goalie. So close. So close. Huh. Okay, that was interesting. Either way, what a chance. How we doing, El Nini? How we doing? 72 minutes. Salcedo beat Portmore 2-1. I was wrong about Portmore then. Violette, they might be better than I expected. Speaking of history. And Jordan singled. Can't say I'm surprised. $72 minutes. Well, good. Flat out for Isaac Paredes. Tomorrow my Cruz Azul plays. Goal! 2-0 to Violette. 2-0 to Violette. No, they play Thursday. No, Cruz Azul plays Thursday because I'm going to cover one of their games. Cruz Azul's Philly on Thursday. Yeah, that's the 6th. Yeah, Cruz Azul plays on Thursday. And it's 2-0 to Violette. 73rd minute. What a shot. Top of the box, and Violette wraps it up. Against the run of play, they score a goal. 2-0. You don't look happy with the Blue Jays right now. Yeah, because they suck. They had to sell. Clifford Luis Jean scores the goal. Because I thought the Blue Jays would be in the playoffs this year at least. Okay, I can't say they suck right now. They actually are playing better after the trade deadline than before it. They're starting to sell, though. Because reasons. 73rd minute, 2-0 to Violette. Let's reset that. So, yeah, I'm not exactly happy. But maybe the trade deadline is what they needed to get their heads out of their asses. I mean, we're not that far off a wild card spot, so we could still make the playoffs. It's going to be tough, but we could still make the playoffs. It will be probably third seed in the wild card, but you know what? As long as they pulled their heads out of their asses. Dalton Varsho versus Dallas on the at-bat. Because Dalton Varsho is now a Houston Astro. We saw a Trinidad team in the Champs Cup. Never going to happen again, though. Yeah, at least you saw the game. You saw them there. Ball in the dirt. Do not walk Varsho. Playing forward. 75th minute. Foul ball. Full count on Dalton Varsho. Man, it's weird to see. Playing forward. And sadly for Blue Jays fans, guess what? Kevin Gausman will not start on Thursday against the Toronto Blue Jays. He'll be starting against the Kansas City Royals on the weekend. So no, we're not going to get a Cease versus Gausman match. And Dallas walked Varsho. 1 out, 2 on. 75th minute. Christian Walker. Playing forward. Haitian teams came and play at home and beat the Defense Force. Well, who went to the World Cup? Haiti, right. Who didn't? Trinidad, right. Foul ball to Christian Walker. Playing forward, blocked away. goes down. St. Hilaire fouled in the 77th minute. And was that in play runs or force out? Andres Jimenez to Ernie Clements. Christian Walker gets to first. It's 2 outs, 2 on, first and third. Jordan out at second. So fielder's choice. Fielder's choice. It's fielder's choice. So due for a free kick. Any out, just get Altuve out, Chad. We'll go to the 6th. Over the top, tied. Just get Altuve out. It's out for a corner. And it's a 3-2 game. And Houston leads 3-2. Altuve got a small hit. In play, no out. '78th minute. And Altuve got Jordan to score. What happened to Solid MLS? I don't know. No, he sucks. No, I'm not proud of him. He still sucks. And I didn't want him to beat the Cardinals. So. I don't like Jazz. He's still a trash player. '79th minute. Saw a clip of Ross Atkins. He's very disappointed in himself. Good. Batter timeout. Good. Good. He should be. Fire Schneider. This is an absolute disaster. And that was a 3-run home run off Dallas. Blue Jays are going to lose this game. Game over. 4. That's 6-2. Yeah, game over. You just tied the game just to go back down 4 runs. Good job, Chad Dallas, you ham roll. 2-run home run and played great defense. Well, good for him. Honestly, I could care less. The Blue Jays are not going to make the playoffs. '80th minute. Trabzon Spor, like, really. Prediction, Tigres versus Real Salt Lake. Tigres win. I mean, Turkey pays well if you don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. And you want to be on a team with players you're used to playing most of the time. Well, good. I like Ben Rice. I can't believe I'm admitting this. I actually like Ben Rice. I think he's a good dude. I hate that he's a Yankee, but Ben Rice is a very good dude. He's a good baseball player. You can't help but like him, even though he is a Yankee. Jazz is an annoying jackass who can't cash checks that his mouth writes. He's annoying as shit. And he keeps running his damn mouth. Dude, you ain't good enough to do that. I'm sorry. Like, I like cocky players, but you're taking that shit way too far. You have no right. You are a shitty baseball player. Like, I like cocky players. When it's warranted. When you're that shit, no, I'm sorry. Stop acting like you're freaking Ken Griffey Jr. You are not. You are no Ken Griffey Jr., my friend. You are no Ken Griffey Jr. Shut the hell up. You are no Manny Ramirez. Shut the hell up. That's the problem. That's the problem with Jazz. He sees himself as Ken Griffey Jr. He sees himself as Manny Ramirez. You are neither. You are neither. Now go boot another ground ball short. Now go boot another ground ball. Okay, a blind squirrel finds a nut every so often. I know Idrisi got an assist. Point is, if Jazz was like, yeah, I know I suck right now. I do. I know it. I got to do better. I'd be like, okay, fine. Because here's the thing about Jazz. He has raw talent. I'll be real. Jazz has raw talent. And frankly, I mean, I do hate the Yankees. That doesn't help matters. A blind squirrel finds a nut every so often. You've never heard that before? Should I say a broken clock is right twice a day? Maybe you've heard that before? Either way. Either way. Jazz has raw talent. That's the thing that pisses me off. Like, if he just put his head down and fixed his problems, whatever made him shit, I mean, I'm not complaining because it helped the Jays win an American League Division Series and the Eastern Division last year. But dude's acting like, no, become Ken Griffey Jr. and you can talk all your shit you want. You are no Ken Griffey Jr. No. I mean, not anybody could really be Ken Griffey, but he acts like he's Ken Griffey. I mean, Ken Griffey did talk his shit, but you know what? Ken Griffey deserved to talk his shit. 2-0. 85th, 84th minute. Either way. But either way. Defense without the force. I wouldn't even say they're playing defense, to be honest. I wouldn't even say they're playing defense, to be honest. 85th minute. 2-0. Playing forward. Shot, saved, rebound, goal! 3-0 Violette. Speaking of no defense. 3-0. There's your no defense force. No defense force. Speaking of no defense, 3-0. Cincinnati's about to win 3-1. No defense forced. 85th minute. And it's 3-0 to Violette. They're back. Idrisi's a bully when it's physical, bruh. And that's why I think he's an amazing player. Well, partially. He can play like a number 10 and be physical. I love that. If TFC could pull off an Adrisi Mihailovic swap deal, I would be so glad. So glad. I'd rather have, if I could get Adrisi, Elvins Dejean. '85th minute. 86. 3-0. 1-0, Charlotte, Brant Bronico. Well, this is kind of disappointing. That's what happens when you can't play offense and you can't play defense. 2-0 to Plaza Amador, by the way, in the Central American Cup. We'll be back in about 25 minutes after this game is over when the Vancouver game is close to starting. He's just going to tank over everybody in the MLS. I would not mind that. I would love that. That sounds like a swashbuckling football player to me. And that can also play as a really good number 10. If MLS was fair, Adrisi, if he was in Toronto, he'd be the MVP over a full season over Messi. But MLS is not fair. So MLS is going to win it. Adrisi, the best he could do is be second place. As is usual in this league. But, you know, well, that doesn't sound like a good force. Leaky force does not sound like a good force. Sounds like there's no force there, to be honest. Sounds like there's no force there, to be honest. '89th minute. '89th minute. Optimistic for a bounce back. For defense force? No. Yeah, losing Kevin Molino hurt like hell. Oh, okay. Well, I guess good. Good for them. Good for them. Good for him. Maybe they told him exactly what I said. Stop acting like Ken Griffey when you ain't Ken Griffey Jr. I'm sure that's probably what they told him. Well, good, because he actually does have talent. That's the sad part. He has raw talent. That's the sad part. Be more focused on the process and stop talking shit. '90th minute, 91st minute. 3-0. 92 minutes. What if the Yankees traded him to the Jays in the offseason? No, I'd rather have Ernie Clement. No, I'd rather have Ernie Clement. Unless it's for Andres Jimenez. Well, shit, we probably do need an outfielder. Second baseman. Can he play short? Can he play short? Or can we put Ernie? No, I'd rather just have Bo Bichette back. Nah, I'd rather have Bo Bichette back, actually. No. I mean, Ernie would still probably have to play short. I mean, Jazz is better than Andres Jimenez. I'm going to be real. Can he play short? Or should we play Ernie at short? I don't know. Either way. I'd rather have Bo Bichette back. Leon Bailey linked to Saudi Arabia. Levi Garcia drawn Panathinaikos in Greece for a season-long loan. Okay. Maybe they don't want him, though. 93rd minute. I'd rather have Bo Bichette back if he opts out for the Mets. I can't believe I'm saying that. But either way. '94th minute. Whole city fell off. Bailey didn't want a pay cut. Why would he want to go to the championship? Well, Baltimore still won't go anywhere. They suck. Like, Baltimore still won't. So what if he goes off? They still need more than 2 players. Baltimore got rid of Adley Rutschman. Well, what about Jackson Holiday? Okay, that's 3. They'll still finish 5th place. Because that's just what happens. 95th minute. Well, I didn't say they didn't. I was just saying either way. 3-0 to Violette, and that should be full time. Goal kick should be the last kick of the game. Lucas Harrington going to Hull City. Now that makes sense. And it's full time. 3-0 to Violette. Defense Force got slapped up. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Notification once subscribe. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Hit that high button to put this up in the algorithm. Hit that join button to become a member. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within 25 minutes. 25 minutes for the next match, being Vancouver Whitecaps FC versus Atlante FC in the Leagues Cup. With that being said, I will see you soon. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Live and review for Vancouver Atlante. See you soon. Peace.